Here's the thing, if a man never learned how to respect himself, he will wander through his life with a self-respect size hole in his soul, and he will try and fill it with being loved, being liked, and being respected by others. Because respect for men, it is like oxygen. It provides a extremely vital function. When others respect us, when we get their respect, when we gain their respect, and when they show it towards us, it informs us that who we are and what we're doing is valued. It acts as crucial feedback, telling us we are useful and valuable, that what we are doing to be of service, to be of use, is useful, is valuable. Without that feedback, it's kind of guesswork. And so respect communicates that to us. And really, that is at the heart of being a man, someone others can count on, who is useful, who is of service, and how they are being of service is valued and appreciated and useful, right? He is a man worthy of respect. If you don't get feedback like that, how do you know that what you're doing and who you are being is of use? We need respect to help guide us in our behaviors. And so today we are going to visit the immense importance of self-respect. And I'm going to lay out three key things that you can implement today to make a real dent in your self-respect and your ability to be respected by others. I'm going to give you some key little tasks that you can do today. So hang around to the back end of this video. But first, hey there, legends. I'm Mike Campbell, the anti-nice guy men's coach. I am writing the book, Nice Guys Aren't Good Men: How to Move Past Insecurity and Step into Being a Grounded, Solid, Unfuckwithable Good Man. And if you're new here, welcome, or welcome back. If you're not, make sure to hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications when we drop a new video, and leave me your comments below on what you would like to hear more of. So to support you in getting more from life, from love in the everyday, we can bring you the content that speaks to you. Okay, self-respect. If you weren't respected by your primary caregivers growing up, you might find it hard to respect yourself. If you didn't witness or receive respect how you needed to, you might find it hard to respect yourself. If you didn't witness the important men in your life respect themselves, you might find it hard to respect yourself. Shit, if you didn't have important men in your life, you might find it hard to respect yourself. Your life will reflect this. What your life looks like now, what it feels like now on the inside, looks like on the outside, will reflect this. The state of your self-respect, that is the state of your life. The state of your self-respect, it is the state of your relationship to life. It is the state of your relationship to the world. It is the state of your relationship to women, to other men. It is the state of your relationship to money, to time, to your body, to health. Now, careful that I say it is your relationship to these things, not your ability to get them. You know, you can have plenty of money, for example, and still have a terrible relationship to it. This will be reflected in the state of your self-respect. Same for your body. You might have a lean, fit, strong, great body, but still have a terrible relationship to it based in self-loathing, punishment, and disrespect. You can have good men in your life, but believe you don't deserve their friendship. You can have good women in your life, but believe you aren't good enough for them. Now, things can look a certain way, yet your relationship to them is a mess. And often this can be easily viewed and assessed by the state of your self-respect. Because self-respect, it forms the foundation of how your life looks and feels. It determines how you feel and how others feel in relationship with you. If you haven't learned it, then you are going to need to learn it quick. There's no faking self-respect. There's no faking it till you're making it. There's no getting it from others so then you can gain it. I remember when my self-respect depended heavily on if others respected me. And of course, respect might have looked like approval, validation, acknowledgement. Really, what it said was, if others respect me, if they respect me, then I can respect myself, or at least I can start to feel okay about myself. I can start to feel secure, like I'm okay in the world. That's the clincher for nice guys. And while it was nice in those moments, right, gaining the respect of others, because of the foundation of the lack of foundation of it internally of self-respect. Any respect that I got from others, it was flimsy, it was fleeting, right? I needed more of it. I needed more of it. And here really is the issue with that. When I'm doing that, when you are doing this, if it speaks to you, you are expecting the world to do your heavy lifting for you. And that is some disempowered shit. And I'll word it in my own language, my own experience. When I was doing that, I was expecting the world to do my heavy lifting for me. And it was so disempowering. It only creates more of the same need and dependence on others to feel an ounce of respect for myself. And the very nature of the behavior lacks respect for self. So it becomes this self-perpetuating cycle. It is very hard to respect a man that doesn't respect himself. Right? We teach people how to treat us. And so if you embody a lack of self-respect, if you are clearly disregarding your own needs, dishonoring your own boundaries, having no boundaries at all, let people walk all over them, being way too agreeable where it's inappropriate, whatever it is that looks like and manifests a lack of self-respect, you are teaching people that's how you want to be treated. You are teaching people that you don't believe you are worthy of respect. You're hoping they do it and provide it for you. As I said, asking the world to do your heavy lifting for you, that's some disempowered shit. For me, learning to respect myself and learning to respect my choices was the simplest but hardest way out of letting insecurity run my life, out of needing the respect of others to start to feel it for myself. But it also needs this. It needs a buttload of courage. It needs some determination and some grace and some perseverance and more courage. And it needs some fucking great people around you. But it is entirely doable. There is always more to changing your life, to cementing new foundations, right? And how you feel day to day than one thing. But in terms of men, nice guys in particular, this one is a pretty fucking important one. Now, I have seen this work as a core foundational component for hundreds of men that I've personally worked with, thousands that have worked through and done a lot of my courses and my work, read my books, etc. At the end of the day, we all want to be respected because it gives us such vital foundational feedback that who we are being and what we are doing is of value and of use. As I said, respect for men is like oxygen. It provides us that vital function. When others respect us, it informs us that who we are and what we are doing is of use, is of value. As I said, for men, that is at the heart of everything. Being someone that others can count on, depend on, who is useful, who is worthy of respect. If we don't get feedback like that, how do we know what we're doing, who we are being is of use? And that's why respect helps us understand and guide our behaviors. But as I said earlier, it is very hard to respect a man who doesn't respect himself. So your task, your mission, moving away from this today, is to build respect for yourself. And here is the simplest way to start that: by respecting your choices and respecting who you are day to day. That's it. And who you are really comes down to the choices that you make. So you simplify it down to respecting your choices. Is this a choice where I will respect myself, or this? And often you'll find that's the easier one. This is the one that requires courage, but that's where respect lies. The respect of others comes after this, right? As you be that man who is embodying self-respect. And another key piece, have men around you who respect you and hold you to being the man who can respect himself, hold you to the behaviors, to the commitments that can then see you embody being that man. So here's how to start. We're going to start with a little bit of a mental set of exercises first, and then we'll get into some practicalities beyond respecting your choices. So the first question is this: ask yourself, what would it look like, perhaps it is different to now, what would it look like for me to respect myself? Spend some time reflecting on that, contemplating it, writing down ideas, discuss it with other men who you respect and that you think have self-respect. What would it look like for me to respect myself. And you might get a bunch of specifics. It might be some really broad stuff. You might go to areas in work, in that particular dealings with that person, in my relationships, with my health and my body, with money, whatever it might be. Get some specifics down. What would it look like? And then what would it require of me? Because often there's a differentiation there. It might look like this, and that would require being courageous, being assertive, whatever it might be. But you've got to get some reflections and points down here. Make it easy for you by bringing down some specific examples for yourself. Number two, your choices. Simplify things down to the decision or action in front of you. And so ask yourself, okay, I've got a choice right now. Which one of these sees me embody self-respect? Or perhaps in a different situation, if I wasn't afraid of what could happen on the other side of the decision, or perhaps how others might view me, which one invites me into self-respect? Which action sees me embody self-respect? And again, that can simplify it down incredibly easy. Doesn't necessarily make it easy to implement, hence where courage comes in. But that's what questions like this can do. They can reduce complex shit down to a simple action. And that simple action, okay, it might not be easy, but that is where courage comes in, because that's where courage lives. It lives in those moments, right? Because after all, a man who respects himself is a man who can choose courage when fear and insecurity and doubt arise. That's the whole point. Choosing courage is an act of self-respect. Hoping that fear and doubt and insecurity won't be present so that then you can choose it, that's not how it works, because that is the easy option. That doesn't require courage and self-respect. Now, this work is more than just respect. For those among you perhaps who've paid attention to any of my content before, or maybe keenly listening along, you will note that this idea here is possibly true, beyond just self-respect. And it might even ring a bell. It's equally true for love. So I said at the top, if you weren't respected, you might not be able to or know how to respect yourself. Well, if you weren't loved unconditionally by your primary caregivers growing up, you might find it hard to love yourself and believe you are worthy of love and belonging as an adult. If you didn't witness the important men in your life show love and care towards themselves and others, you might find it hard to love yourself or show care towards yourself, because love and self-respect, they are intertwined. Now, to me, in my experience coaching a lot of men over the years, for a lot of blokes, self-love and the idea of kind of self-love and the self-love movement, it's too fluffy and it is inaccessible. Most guys can't grab that. There's not much there to grab onto. Respect is so much more tangible and innate, really, as a concept, I think, for guys. Yet they both really speak to the same thing. That is giving a shit about yourself, valuing yourself, and taking care of yourself as if you were someone whose life and well-being you were in charge of. Because you are. It's the good news is that we can apply the pieces that make sense to us and that align with us. And so if love, respect, really they kind of align at respect, we'll grab onto that and we'll apply it. Because in order to develop self-love, it really boils down to respecting yourself and making choices that you love. And if that seems like a stretch, loving your choices, start by liking your choices. Start by making choices that you like and that you're proud of, that see you embody self-respect, that see you giving a shit about yourself. This really is the shortcut to that often kind of inaccessible idea of self-love. So tell me in the comments, what would you add to these initial starting points around developing self-respect? Not going out into the world and becoming respectable or having other people respect you, but developing self-respect. You can also comment and let me know how this is going for you in starting these, because you need to start them. This cannot be another thing that you watch and not do. Fuck that. You need to do this shit. You need to be it, become it. All right. That's us. Remember, like, subscribe, share this with a man that you think could benefit from it and enjoy it. And remember, be curious, be courageous, and make choices that you respect. That is how you become unfuckwithable.